Welcome back, everybody. My name is Julio Reyes with AbsolutionWater.com, and let's do another math problem. The next one is going to be a pressure problem, and it reads like this. A well has a discharge operating pressure of 96 psi. A water storage tank has a base elevation of 200 feet. Can the well water make its way to the storage tank? Assume that the well is at 0 elevation. So let's write down some of the information that we know here. We know that the well, I'm going to draw a little well house here because I don't know how to draw a well. There's a pump house, is at 96 psi on the discharge side. We also know that it's discharging to a storage reservoir that has an elevation of 200 feet. Here's our storage tank. And we also know that the well is at 0 elevation. Okay, so we have units of measure in psi here, and we have units of measure in feet here. We're going to go ahead and convert this psi into feet. And if you followed my first video on conversions, I like to, rather than just multiply or divide by a certain number, I like to always multiply by the fraction. So let's get this 96 psi and write it over 1. So kind of before I go any further, let's talk about what I just did here. Any number over 1 is always itself. So if you get your calculator and if you write, so what we're doing here is we're turning a whole number into a fraction. So if you write 96 divided by 1, you should still get 96. So whenever we get a whole number and we need to multiply it by a fraction, we should always turn this whole number into a fraction simply by writing it over 1. Now, you can make the error of writing 96 over 96, just kind of if you're going through it very quickly. Put that in your calculator and tell me what you get. Any number over itself is equal to 1. So if you're taking an exam and you have a little anxiety there and you're asking yourself, did Julio say, was it 96 over itself again, or is it 96 over 1? Well, if you put this in your calculator, you're going to see that if you say equal, it's going to be 96 over 1 will still be 96. Okay, if you make the mistake of writing 96 divided by 96, you're going to get 1. 96 is not equal to 1. Okay, so to summarize it, in order to convert a whole number to a fraction, just write it over 1. Okay, let's go forward. So we've turned our whole number into a fraction here, and we should know that for every psi, it's equal to 2.31 feet. So this has to somehow make its way into that. And in order to eliminate the psi, so we convert the psi into feet, we know that the psi is going to have to go on the bottom, and the 2.31 feet goes onto the top. And this works out very nicely because you'll notice that the psi's cancel, and that leaves us with 96 times 2.31, which is 221.76. The units of measure are feet. Okay, so we have 221.76 feet is what this is equivalent to, this 96 psi. And so the answer is yes. This discharge pressure can make its way into the storage tank. For more videos like this and other resources, visit our website at www.absolutionwater.com, the answer for water professionals.